to another video. Today is going to be a little bit of a healthy day in my life. Right now I'm just getting my pre-workout and my greens. I'm getting ready to do a 30-minute fartlek on the treadmill. And so basically what that is, it's just like interval running. It just helps build up your endurance and your speed so that you can get a little bit of a faster pace on your longer runs. But I ended up waking up super exhausted this morning just because I did so much yesterday. I woke up and ran 4.5 miles and then I cleaned my entire house from top to bottom. But I did all that while I was working my full-time job, and then I ended up working my part-time job in the evening, and I was nonstop. My feet and my back by the end of the night were just trashed. I was so tired. I just wanted to come home and sleep. But I ended up checking my steps this morning from yesterday just because I was curious. I ended up walking a total of 28,230 steps. So it's 7:30 right now. I've kind of been moving in slow motion all morning, so I'm kind of going to take it a little bit easy today, but I figured it was going to be the opportunity to pick up my camera and explain to you guys exactly what I'm doing as this part of my wedding series. Basically, I do want to go through an entire transformation as like a bridal glow up. I have a long list of things that I'm trying to accomplish from here until my wedding day. I'm trying to do something similar to 75 hard just because I do obviously want to look and feel my absolute best by my wedding day, and I want to make sure that I'm kind of keeping myself accountable by starting a challenge. I feel like that's really going to push me, and it's really going to just drive me to stick to my goals as much as possible. So I'm going to go through the list of things that I'm trying to do. I'm not doing 75 hard as it's listed, but I'm also not doing 75 soft. So let me go over this list. I wrote it all down and I'm gonna let you guys know exactly what it is that I'm trying to do. I'm gonna go over this list and then do it in comparison to my list that I'm trying to accomplish. The first two things on the list are two 45-minute workouts. They cannot be back to back. You have to have at least 3 hours in between, and one of them must be outside. I have a full-time job, a part-time job. I'm currently planning a wedding. So there's a lot going on in my life right now. All good things, but there is a lot on my plate, and I feel like it would be very unrealistic if I were to do 2 workouts a day, especially if I can't get them in back to back. Like if I were to do a 30-45 minute run and then go straight into lifting some weights, I could see that being a little bit more realistic. But even then, I'm already trying to balance a big stress load. I don't want to end up cutting my hours of sleep so that I can get in another workout in my day. I'm already waking up anywhere from 5 to 5:30 on a daily basis. I'm not going to wake up at 4 just so I can get in another workout. I'm trying to get as much sleep as possible so that my body has time to recover and reset itself properly for the next day. So what I'm going to be doing instead is doing at least 1 workout a day. It doesn't have to be specifically timed to 45 minutes because, for instance, today my run is going to be a 30-minute interval run. Like my heart rate is going to be all over the place, and I know that that is going to be a very effective and efficient run and exercise for me. So I'm not going to push myself or force myself to do another workout today. As long as I get some kind of form of movement in the day, even if it's just a long walk, all I need to focus on is the fact that I am sticking to a discipline of moving my body every day. Within like the next 2 weeks, my runs are going to be 5, 6, 7 miles, almost back to back. And so doing a 7-mile run and then thinking about adding an extra workout in the day, absolutely not. I'm not going to do that. 1 workout a day minimum is good for me. Next thing is taking a progress picture every single day. That I can definitely stick to. That's not difficult. I actually think that's pretty cool and interesting to see your progress throughout the challenge and seeing the little changes and little bits of improvement that are off the scale, so I can still celebrate those victories. And since the scale doesn't always reflect that, pictures are always really good to have. With that being said, I will still be weighing myself every day. And I know this isn't healthy for everyone, and if it's not for you, then please don't do this. But the reason that I'm weighing myself every day is because I have the Renpho scale. So it lets me know every single one of my numbers. It tells me my body fat percentage, my water weight, muscle mass, all of that stuff. So for me, it's kind of a little bit of a help to know that I can see all of those numbers, because I'm not necessarily focused on the number itself on this scale, but I'm looking at those percentages. I want to know that if there is a fluctuation, then I can kind of see like, oh, I just retained a little bit of extra water from yesterday to today, no big deal. So to me, it's actually a lot more helpful knowing that I can see the rest of those numbers, and the big number itself is pretty irrelevant, but to know that I can see the rest of the statistics, and it gives me a better average of how my progress is going, if my deficit is working, and if my weightlifting is doing something. I will be incorporating that on top of the picture every day. The other thing is to drink at least 1 gallon of water a day, which I'm already pretty much doing. Next thing is reading 10 pages a day, and it must be a nonfiction book. I think preferably some type of personal development book. I'm gonna be honest, it's a little bit hard for me. I know 10 pages is not a lot, but when I tell you guys, like, I am busy, sometimes it's hard to set aside the time to read the 10 pages. But I do definitely want to make sure that I am growing. And so what I'm doing to replace this is I can read anywhere from 5 to 10 pages a day, or I can make sure that I'm listening to podcasts that have to do with some type of growth. So I think as long as I'm listening to minimum 1 podcast a day, I can also choose to do an audiobook. I just realistically do not have the time to read an additional 10 pages. And by the time I get home from work, I want to crash. So to push the reading to the end of the day is a little bit hard for me. In the beginning of the day is when I read my Bible. And so it's just, I can't do that. But I will still be focusing on growth and like mindset type of podcasts and audiobooks. And then I'll do my best to get in at least 5 pages of reading if I can with an actual physical book. Next is no cheat meals or alcohol. I don't drink, so that's not a problem. But the cheat meals is what I do want to talk about. I think what I'm going to do for that is I will allow myself a cheat meal if needed. Now that's if needed. So I can go an entire week, and if I feel like there is no need for me to cheat on my diet, then I'm just not going to take it, and we're just going to skip until the next week. And that will be a cheat meal. It will not be a cheat day. It will not be a cheat weekend. It will literally be one meal outside of what I'm currently doing on my diet plan, and I will only allow that for myself once a week. And the way that I'm kind of trying to frame my nutrition plan currently, I don't really feel the need to cheat, but if I did, then it would be anything that's not tracked. So let me go over the actual diet plan, because it says that you have to follow a diet and you have to stick to it. It doesn't say which diet. You could do whatever you want. You could do something customized. You could do something like keto or paleo or Whole30 or whatever it is that you want to do, as long as you stick to it. So I am sick and tired of crash diets. They honestly give me the ick at this point, talking about them. Even the thought of starting a crash diet so I could drop an extra 10 pounds in the next 2 weeks so that I could fit into a dress. I can't do that anymore. I don't want to do that. I no longer see myself doing that anywhere in the near future. I have done that so much for my entire life. It messed up my metabolism so bad, and it messed up my mind even worse. We are not doing a crash diet. We are not doing a fad diet. I'm not doing keto, paleo, Weight Watchers, none of that. What I am doing specifically is something that is actually very sustainable for not just the near future, for literally my entire life. I know that I can stick to this. It is balanced. It is well-rounded. I am not eliminating any type of food group. You guys know I did just recently get my certification for being a holistic nutrition consultant. With that, I've gotten so much education on how to eat. At the end of the day, I am trying to lose weight, and in order to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit. I don't care what anyone says. You cannot outwork or out supplement any bad diet. I am in a calorie deficit. I've already calculated my calories, my macros, all of that. However, I will not be paying attention to carbs or fats. That's all going to fall under the umbrella of my calorie count at the end of the day. What I am focusing on though are my micronutrients, my fiber intake, and most of all, my protein intake. Now, as far as my protein goes, let's say I give myself hypothetically 150 grams of protein in a day. I can either go 10 under or 10 over. So if I have 160 grams of protein in a day, even better. If I have 140 grams of protein in a day, that's still fine. It still fell in with a range of my 10 grams around what I'm trying to meet that goal of. And then as far as my calories go, let's say I give myself 1500 calories. I can either have 1400 calories or 1600 calories and still be in my range to lose weight as a deficit. And my macros have been calculated for me specifically, so I'm not going to give my numbers because it doesn't make sense to give my numbers to somebody else, because I have a different lifestyle. I have my certain amount amount of activity that I do. I weigh a certain amount, I walk a certain amount, I'm on my feet. So it's all going to be dependent on you. There are different ways that you can calculate your macros online. There's different websites that can kind of do that for you, but I've already kind of calculated this for myself. So I do have a certain amount of calories and a certain amount of protein that I do track every single day on my Lose It app. I used to track on my MyFitnessPal and I still really do like the app, but I found that Lose It is a lot more detailed and customizable. So I do have the premium plan. I did pay for that. I want to say it was like a one-time fee, and I paid for the entire year, and I absolutely love the app. You can customize it to where all you see and focus on is your protein. You can do it to where you see your calories, your carbs, whatever that might be. And then you have like a separate sheet where it breaks down every single category for you, how much you're under or missing, and it literally tracks everything. I absolutely love it. So I am making sure to track every single thing that I eat. Anything outside of what I track is considered a cheat to me. So if I had a slice of pizza and I didn't track it, that's a cheat because I could have tracked it and somehow fit it into my macros. So macro counting is very flexible as far as what you can eat. There's not anything like you can't have cheese, you can't have bread, you can't have any of that. And I know a lot of people see this as like, well, it's a balanced diet. As long as you can fit it into your macros, you're fine. Technically, you are, because you will still lose weight, but I'm also looking at the quality content of my ingredients. Is a slice of pizza going to make me feel good, or is it going to upset my stomach, make me feel lethargic, make me feel bloated? Like, I want to make sure that I'm feeling good after I eat something. You're not supposed to feel sick and tired after eating. Food is literally fuel, and you are supposed to feel energized and great. So what I'm trying to focus on is how it's going to make me feel once I finish it. And I'm gonna show you guys exactly what it is that I'm eating today, because today is technically my first day of this challenge. I am focusing on giant salads. I have at least one big salad a day. So I'm making sure that it is just packed with fiber and protein. I add hemp seeds, arugula, sprouts, all of that stuff, and then I add whatever protein of my choice. I've lost about 5 pounds so far, and I feel like this is the most I've ever eaten, the best I've ever eaten, and I don't feel deprived. I am losing weight. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I actually feel great. I have so much energy throughout the day. I wake up feeling great. I sleep so good throughout the night. So the food that I'm eating has changed everything. And for the first time in my life, I don't have food noise. I'm not constantly thinking about what I'm going to eat next. I don't go to sleep thinking about the food that I wasn't able to have today and how I'm gonna make sure to go through the drive-through line tomorrow. Like, I don't worry about that anymore. And it's really strange being in this new mindset because I never thought I would be here, but it's so weird to me that I don't think about food all day anymore. It was on my mind 24/7, and I'm not even exaggerating. If you guys struggle with food noise, if you guys struggle with any kind of disordered eating, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The constant cycle of craving something, not allowing yourself to have it, craving it, having other things in replacement, and then still having that thing at the end of the day anyway, and then hating yourself for it, and the guilt that comes with actually falling into eating it and feeling weak and whatever, all this stuff. It was making me feel so crazy. And for the first time in my life, I don't catch myself even craving snacks throughout the day. I'll have fruit, or I'll have pita bread, or some kind of like protein cheese and nut mix or something like that. But I never thought I was going to be the person that craved healthy things. I look forward to my salad every single day. And you guys are gonna see why, because I'm gonna make it later. It's the best meal that I have every single day. And I make it a little bit different every time, but I am genuinely enjoying the foods that I'm eating now. I can't necessarily go into intuitive eating just yet because I'm still trying to gauge my portions. It's very easy to go over or under if you're not tracking properly. So I do weigh my food as well. But I feel like this is the healthiest relationship that I've had with food since I can remember. And I'm just so grateful for that. I'm gonna put my running shoes on, and then I'm gonna jump on the treadmill and we're gonna do our intervals. Just finished my run, and it was actually a really good run, but I'm glad that it was only 30 minutes because towards the end, the last few minutes or so, my left calf really started to cramp up. It's done, it's checked off the list. I'm happy about that. I did decide to invest in a proper pair of running headphones. So I got these Shocks Open Pro, and this is what they look like. So basically you put them right above your ear, kind of just like a pair of glasses, and they don't actually go inside of your ear. So as you can see, it's like right at this part right here. I I keep forgetting the term for it. But basically, these allow you to be able to hear your surroundings while you do run. And sometimes I do have really early runs when the sun isn't totally out. There's a little bit light, but there's not really many people outside. I don't run at night. I never run at night. I don't think it's safe for a girl alone to be running late hours. And that's just me. But when there's not very many people outside, I do like to wear these because I could still hear everything that's around me. And not only that, the AirPod Pros were just really starting to bother me being in my ear for so long. It would kind of start to hurt. And then I could never wear my Beats on a long run because I would just get so overheated since it covered like my entire ears. I was just getting really fed up with both of those on my runs. I'll probably use them for like a walk or something, but when I'm overly exerted and sweating, the last thing I want is something jammed up in my ear. So I really like these. They're super comfortable, super lightweight, and the sound quality is actually really good. I do have a meeting at 9:30. It's currently 9:06. I'm gonna come back and make like a proper meal, but for now, just so that I have some calories to replenish, I'm going to do my Fairlife protein shake, which is 30 grams of protein in one bottle, and then I'm gonna throw in half a banana with some ice, and it just makes like this really good frothy shake. And I'm also going to make myself a green tea. I try to have anywhere from like 2 to 3 cups of green tea a day. They're not all caffeinated, but green tea is great for swelling, inflammation, fat loss, metabolism, all of that. So I try to have as much green tea as I possibly can. I'll probably do like 1 cup of caffeinated, and then the rest of the cups I do decaf so that I'm not all like wired up or anything. Passed, and you guys saw I just took my progress picture. I'm just filling up my second water bottle of the day. It's currently 11:15. As far as what I'm going to eat right now, I don't know if I want more of like a sweet or a savory type of meal, but I am craving some eggs right now, so I think I might do that. I'll probably do like 2 eggs and some egg whites, and then I do have some sweet potatoes as well, and then I'll probably just add some berries. So let's get started. And it looks like a lot, but it's also because I bulked up the eggs a lot. I ended up doing 2 whole eggs with half a cup of egg whites, and then I also put in 1/4 of a cup of the Good Culture cottage cheese. So just from the protein shake this morning and this meal, I'm already at 64.6 grams of protein for the day. I used to be really sensitive to dairy, and I feel like I no longer am. I did go through a detox, and I kind of reboot a few things in my system. I've been able to have dairy again without feeling bloated, without breaking out. I also don't consume too much dairy. The milk that I use for my coffee is lactose free. I don't use any creamers, and I'm going to show you how I make my coffee a little bit later. So I've been able to consume a lot of protein by adding those types of things. However, you don't necessarily need to. You don't even need a protein shake, to be honest. Most days I don't have protein shakes, and I get all my protein through ground chicken, sirloin steak, shrimp, tuna, all that stuff. So protein shakes are not necessary. They're just really convenient. And because I had a meeting this morning, I was trying to kind of hurry up. I needed something fast. I needed protein as part of my first meal. And if you have any kind of hormonal issues, protein is crucial for you. Anything like PCOS, thyroid, hormonal imbalances, any issues like that, you want to make sure that you're focusing a ton on protein. Also, if you struggle with high cortisol levels. So that has been my main goal, is to just make sure that I'm upping the amount of protein that I have a day. And I've noticed that it's helped me tremendously. Like, I really have started to notice a difference when I started to shift the contents of my plate. Right now, I made sure to add berries into my plate because it has a bunch of antioxidants antioxidants, fiber, and it just really helps me with my energy, and it's also really good for your hormones. So I'm going to have my breakfast. I do have to work on a nutrition plan for a client, but other than that, I have a pretty free day. I do want to go to prayer meeting tonight at church, but that's not until around like 6:30 or so that I would have to leave my house. And then Galindo is coming over tonight, and we're gonna go ahead and finalize our guest list and pick our save the dates so that we can get those out as soon as possible. So far, I'm pretty on track with my goals that I've set for myself, and I'm really excited. I didn't even calculate what 75 days from now would be. We should be ending, oh my gosh, why does that seem so far away? I'll be ending this around October 9th. So if you guys want to go ahead and start this with me, and then by the holidays, we're all gonna be looking and feeling our best, by all means, join me, and I'll feel like I have some accountability partners, and like we're kind of all doing this together. I feel like it would be so much fun. I feel like I've struggled with different insecurities throughout different seasons for different purposes. Obviously in the summer, you want to look good. You're going to the beach, jumping in the pool. You want to wear shorts because it's hot, and there's just different insecurities that come with that. As funny as it seems, my number one goal isn't even to look the best at the beach. Actually, one of my biggest goals is I want to be able to look so good in a cute little workout set. Like, that's my goal. I want to look good in biker shorts and a little workout tank and look like I actually work out. I want people to look at me and see that I'm healthy, that I take care of myself. And right now I feel like when I put on my biker shorts and my sports bra that digs into me, and I can't get comfortable in a shirt that I feel like I'm constantly tugging at, I want to feel my best in the summer in a really cute workout set, because I'm working out a lot right now, and right now I don't feel confident in that. But that's all gonna come with time. I know that I'm working on myself. I don't hate my body. It's hard to hate something that you're taking so much care of, and right now I know that I'm taking care of myself the best possible way that I can, and so I don't hate myself. My confidence isn't low or anything like that. I just wish I could be a little bit more secure in certain things and styles that I've been wanting to wear for a really long time and just have not been able to. I know that I can, but it doesn't look the way that I want it to. And then as far as the winter goes, I feel like you have the cute oversized sweaters or the cute knits and everything like that, and I have yet to be able to wear a chunky sweater without feeling chunkier. And if you guys know what I'm talking about and like you relate, you know exactly what I mean when I say that. I feel like oversized knits just don't look the same on me, and when the holidays come around, I just always feel extra big, and that's because I'm like so much more layered, and I want to be able to go snowboarding and not be so out of breath and sore when I'm trying to like stand on the board. I don't want to look like the stinking Michelin man in my puffer jacket and beanie. Like, I want to feel cute in winter stuff too, you know? I'm just really tired of feeling insecure when I know that I can do something about it. Again, I don't hate my body. I am really learning to love where I'm at and be content in every phase that my body is transitioning into. And so right now, no, I'm not where I want to be, but I am still happy knowing that there is little bits of progress every day. But at the end of the day, I just want to feel my most confident self. So I'm excited about the fact that we start today, Friday, July 26th, and we end on Wednesday, October 9th. I feel like right before the holidays hit, I want to feel my absolute best. If you guys want to start this with me, by all means, I would love if you would join, and we'll all do this together. So it is 12:26, and I do have a small window to get in some reading, so I'm going to do my best to sit here and not get distracted and read my full 10 pages. I'm really trying to step it up. I would say this is the most difficult part for me, is the reading. I don't know why. I just get so sidetracked. This book is by Ed Milet, and it is actually a very good book. So I've already gotten to around page 40, and it is very good. And so this is going to be my first read out of, I really don't know how many books I'm going to get through in these next 75 days. So I'm going to sit down and read this. And then I also wanted to show you guys something. Around Valentine's Day, Lauren got me this weekly planner, and I think it was from Target. It's super cute. It's the Threshold brand, and basically it just has like the days of the week, nothing crazy, nothing fancy, and then it just has the weekend down here. Kind of how I want to utilize this is I am planning on making myself an actual tracker on Canva, and if I like how it turns out, then I'll probably put it on my Etsy shop, and I'll just make that like a downloadable PDF for you guys. But aside from the actual habit tracking portion of it, what I want to do is just utilize this for my notes on how the day went. I want to be able to track my weight, track how many ounces of water I drank exactly, how many pages I got through on a book, or how many audiobooks I listened to. This is kind of gonna be just like my little journal at the end of every day, and I don't need an entire page for it. I feel like this section is kind of just enough because I like to just add little notes and stuff like that. I think this is gonna be perfect for now. proud to say that I finished all 10 pages and it was actually really good, so I'm glad I did. The last few pages, he was talking about expanding our capacity, and your body and your mind kind of adjust to what capacity you've given it. So if you're used to not using any energy in the day, then you're most likely going to have low energy because your body has not found a need to acquire more. So for instance, if your body is only used to walking 2,000 steps or running like a mile a day, then that's what you've kind of accustomed yourself to. But unless you expand that capacity, you won't know until you actually start doing it. And even when you start to feel exhausted, you're still expanding that capacity to one day. You could either do that perfectly easy or you can do more. So I started off as a beginner runner and my mile time was like almost 15 minutes. I was extremely slow. I was walking, running, and I was just really struggling. But that's also because I wasn't used to incorporating any cardio for the day. And now my fastest mile is 11 minutes and I am running 4-5 miles a day, and it's honestly become a breeze to me. And so even though in the beginning that drains a lot of your energy because you're expanding outside of what you're used to, eventually it feels like less even though you're technically doing more. And I feel like that helps a lot with decision fatigue. Right now, all of these things that I'm checking off my list, they're new. I'm forming these habits, I'm practicing them daily, and right now it feels like it's taking a lot of energy from me to make the time to sit down and read the 10 pages. But as these habits form, it requires less of my energy and it's second nature, and decision fatigue is essentially irrelevant because it's going to be just like brushing my teeth. It doesn't take anything for me to make the decision to brush my teeth because it's in my nature to do that every single day. And so right now it's taking a lot of my energy to sit down and read my 10 pages, but eventually it's not even going to be a thought. I'm just going to sit down and read my 10 pages like nothing. Maybe I'll even read more if I expand that capacity, but I feel like that really coincides really well with habits and what I'm currently trying to do, and just transform into a better person, expanding the capacity that I currently have, becoming better, doing more, and stepping outside of my comfort to be the person that I'm trying to be instead of the person that I currently am. Time has definitely passed. It's currently 5:18 and I just woke up from a nap. I checked my Aura ring and I usually like to check it after a nap, especially on days when I'm extra tired and need some extra recovery. My readiness score actually jumped up to an 80 and my sleep score jumped up to a 90, so the nap was very much well needed. I'm not hungry, but the last time I ate was at 11:40 and then I had a nice coffee an hour or two later. When I have such high protein meals, it really does keep me from snacking or being hungry throughout the day. Now, obviously the goal is not to undereat either. Like, that's not how I'm gonna lose weight and that's not going to be sustainable. But I do definitely want to eat something before I get to the point where I'm starving and then I want everything in my pantry. Right now, I'm going to make myself a fluffy yogurt because it actually sounds really good. I found this recipe on TikTok. It's the easiest thing in the world. Super good. I sometimes have it twice a day because it just tastes like a straight up dessert. I made one for Galindo recently and he thought I gave him cream cheese or something. It was actually so good. He thought it was a dessert. It was not a dessert at all. It was like 30 grams of protein in that yogurt, and then I added a bunch of berries, and then I topped his with honey. Today it's not going to be as high in protein just because the yogurt that I usually get for that was out of stock. So the one I have, I want to say, is like 16 grams of protein, but it's still definitely something. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that for myself, and I'm gonna show you exactly how I do it. I'm also snacking on some cherries right now because it sounded really good. But so basically this is what I do. This is the yogurt that I'm about to use. I don't normally use this, but I saw it at Aldi and it was literally half the price of the one that I usually get. The one that I normally get is the Oikos, and I want to say it is 20 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar. I forget how many calories. It's not that much though, and it's super high in protein. So the macros for that one I know are for sure amazing. But this is what we have right now, so this is what we're gonna go ahead and use. 3/4 of a cup is about 170 grams, so I'm just gonna go ahead and weigh that out. This scale has been my best friend lately. Next, we need what's going to thicken it up. I've been loving this Jell-O powder, and it's the cheesecake flavor, and it's also 0 sugar. For 7 grams, it's 25 calories. That's usually just what I do. I don't really need more than that, because after that, the consistency starts to get a little bit too thick to where you almost have to like eat it with a giant cup of water because it gets like too sticky. And then the ingredient that's going to make it actually fluff up is baking powder. Make sure you get baking powder and not baking soda. Otherwise, I mean, I just don't think it's gonna taste very good. I put in a dash of that. Sometimes I add a little bit more if I want it to be like extra thick, however much you want. And then you're just gonna mix it up. So that's what it looks like at first. You guys already know, yogurt. Okay, I'm just gonna keep mixing it until I reach the level of consistency that I'm looking for. I forgot to let you know, I also put in a splash of vanilla extract just to sweeten it up a little bit. I had to add about 3 more grams of the Jello powder just because it was still a little bit too runny. Okay, so you see this? It's supposed to not come out of the bowl at all. And that's what it looks like. Ugh, seriously, so good. So for my toppings, I used the other half of the banana that I cut up this morning, some blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and the best part for me, which almost makes it feel like I'm just pouring syrup all over it, is I got about 1/4 of a cup of wild blueberries, and I just put them in the microwave for a little bit so that you can kind of see the juice that comes out of it, and I just pour it over my bowl, and I kind of just like drizzle all of that on top, and all the berries. I can't wait to eat this. It really feels like I'm eating dessert. Here it is. I feel like it would be extra good if you put it in the freezer for a little bit, but look at that. It literally looks like it's a cheesecake consistency, and it's seriously so good and so healthy. This is seriously a 10 out of 10. You guys have to try it. Every day with my eating is going to be so different. I don't usually have the same meals every day. There are definitely some repeats, but I'm not the type of person that has the same thing breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. I cannot repeat the same thing that often. I love cooking way too much to have the same thing every day to where it burns me out. However, I will have the same salad every day and this yogurt every day because those are just 2 things that I'm just like, I'm not sick of them yet. But my breakfast changes every single day. Sometimes I'll have oatmeal and I'll add chia seeds, berries, cinnamon, syrup, all that stuff. Sometimes I'll have eggs and chicken sausage. Sometimes I'll just have a yogurt bowl. My breakfast, I would say, is what varies the most, especially depending on my schedule that day. I'm on my way to church now, and as I was heading out the door, I ended up finishing my 3rd water bottle of the day, so I did refill it. So I'm on my last 32-ounce water bottle, and it's only 6:20, so I definitely will be done with this by the end of the day, and I'll have hit my gallon goal. On Sunday after church, I have my first wedding dress try-on, so I'm super excited. I feel like we're finally getting the ball rolling, and we're officially like fully into the wedding planning. My engagement party was this past Saturday, and I absolutely loved every single thing about it. It was beautiful. If you guys saw my engagement party video, you guys would have seen all the details, all of our friends and family that were there, and I could not have asked for a better day. We had so much fun, and it feels so weird being on the other side, just because both Galindo and I are used to always being kind of more in the background, putting in the work, just because we really don't care to be the center of attention, and that's something we're both trying to get used to right now. So we're adjusting a little bit, but it was so much fun. Our families did so much, and it was the best day. I really want to go back to it. I do miss it. It was so much fun. It was at my mom's house, and now we're officially at the next step, and I'm just so excited. It's going to be so much fun. I really can't wait to see what this is all going to turn out like. But because I'm also going to be trying on dresses on Sunday, and this is only the first time I'm going to be trying on dresses, I'm trying to make sure that I feel my best, most confident while I'm trying these on, and that I'm actively working on myself, because it's kind of like going to a dressing room and picking out this entire pile of clothes and finding out that nothing fits, and then you just end up leaving sad and discouraged. That's the last feeling that I want going into my wedding dress try-ons. I don't want to feel like that. I want to feel my absolute best for this. And so I'm really excited about the fact that I just started this whole 75 hard inspired type of thing, because I feel like it's really getting me on track. And the fact that I'm currently training for a 10K and then a half marathon in December, I feel like it's really helping shift my focus to I'm more training than on like a weight loss journey. The weight's gonna fall off with my training plan, but I have something that I'm trying to accomplish versus just trying to get to a certain number on the scale. I'm eating in a way that is fueling my body to be able to run faster, to run longer, to prevent injury. And I did also get a gym membership, which I forgot to mention to you guys. It's just a 24-hour fitness. I don't want to go to any kind of like HIIT workouts or boot camps or anything like that. Since I am already doing a high intensity sport with the running, I don't want to do that every single day, so I'm not trying to go back to boot camp right now. What I'm trying to just do is just focus more on building building muscle, and I'm simultaneously leaning out with the running. So I'm burning fat, building muscle. But I decided to get myself a membership. I did end up getting a discount, so it actually came out pretty cheap a month. So I'm excited to step back into the gym. I don't think I've stepped foot in a traditional gym in years, and so I am excited about it. I feel like having access to all those weights and kettlebells and dumbbells and everything like that is just going to really step up my game with my workouts, and I feel like that's really what's going to transform my body, because the type of food that I'm eating will reduce my body's size, but the type of workouts that I'm doing will determine my body's shape. So my personal goal is to have a really nice back, really nice legs. I naturally have a lot of muscle in my legs, so when I do lose weight and the muscle starts to show, my legs are probably my favorite thing of my body, and that might sound conceited, but I feel like that's where I have the most definition. And when I work out and see all that muscle in my calves and my quads, I just get so happy. My least favorite part, I would say, are my arms. So that's one thing that I am definitely trying to tone up a little bit and just make a little bit smaller. I would like my arms to slim down. When I lose weight, my body kind of all loses weight at the same time. I don't really have any stubborn areas, and I'm so glad I could say that, because that's just how my genetics work. But I do really want to focus on my back and my legs. I don't have a butt, so if I end up getting a butt, cool, but I've never had one, so it is what it is at that point. My battery is currently dying, and I forgot to bring a replacement, so I'll just catch up with you guys when I get back home. Okay, so here's dinner. I figured it would be a lot easier doing this over rice instead of a salad for today, just because we have a lot to get done, so I just wanted something fast. These are the chicken meatballs that I used. I got them from Costco, and for 4 meatballs, it is 120 calories and 12 grams of protein, so it's right on the high protein mark. And then I just threw in some bell peppers, onion, and cilantro, and then I made this white rice with some corn, and it's just a really easy dinner. Good morning. I literally just woke up a little while ago. It's currently like 8:10 right now. I was just so tired. I desperately needed some extra sleep, so I allowed myself to sleep in, and right now what I'm going to do is take my progress picture for the day, and then I'm going to put a workout outfit on, and Sky and I are going to go for our morning walk. From there's really not much that I have going on today, so I think I'm just going to sit down and edit this video when I come back home, make myself a breakfast. I do go to work at 1 o'clock, so I don't think this is going to be a full day today. I'll be there from like 1 to 5. I don't know if I'm going to end the video before I head off to work, or if I'm just going to pick up and just show you guys my dinner when I do get home, but we'll figure it out. Right now, I'm just going to go ahead and take my picture and head out the door. So like I said earlier, I definitely was in need of some extra sleep. Today is definitely going to be a recovery day, but because we are doing a workout every single day, even on the days that I'm tired, I am still doing something. I'm just not going to be doing anything intense. As far as yesterday, I completed everything off my list. I weighed myself, I took my picture, I stuck to my diet, I didn't cheat, I drank my gallon of water, read my 10 pages, did my workout, and so yesterday kind of seemed like a breeze. It was pretty easy, not gonna lie. So today I'm really hoping would kind of be the same. And I did forget to mention for my specific list, if I absolutely need a rest day where I can't even get up to go for a walk because my body is just done for the week, then I'm going to allow that for myself. I won't do it consecutively or consistently, but if every once in a blue moon I feel like, okay, my body just, it can't move today, I can't do it, either my back is hurting or my feet are way too sore, then I'll probably just give myself a rest day. I'll allow that. I know 75 hard doesn't allow you any rest days, but sometimes your body just needs the extra recovery time. I'm also trying to add in a little bit more habits just to kind of stack on top of the little disciplines that I'm already trying to do for myself. So I am making sure to make my bed every single day, and every time I make a mess, my goal is to put it away immediately. I want to clean at least one big thing if it's needed, and if not, then I'm just going to focus on like one task to keep this house maintainable. So like for instance, today I'm looking at the floors and it looks like I might need to mop. The kitchen itself is clean. I just have a pot and a pan that need to be washed. Other than that, the counters are fine. There's nothing out. The living room is okay. So I'm just gonna focus on floors downstairs today. It feels good going to bed and waking up to a clean space, and I feel like it just frees up so much additional time in the day that I don't have to waste catching up on the things that I was too lazy to put away earlier. So those are just a couple of things. We're officially back home and we walked a total of 38 minutes. So it was like a little over a mile and a half. I think I'm going to make myself a breakfast sandwich just because it sounds really good. You guys already know that when it comes to making any type of sandwich for myself, I go all out. I literally feel like I could be a professional sandwich maker. Anyway, I am going to kind of track all of this. I'm gonna calculate it before I start making it. Alrighty, so here is my breakfast. I have 2 chicken sausage links, and then I have just a regular English muffin. For the spread, I used basil pesto, and then I have some roasted tomato, basil, and Parmesan spread, I believe it is. Then I added some sprouts, baby arugula, a slice of pepper jack cheese, and then I have half a cup of egg whites and 1 whole egg. I also made my iced coffee like I usually do. So with just this alone, I have 41 grams of protein. I am absolutely starving. I know this is gonna be super filling. It seriously looks so good, and I can't wait to eat it. But I did end up making a huge mess because I underestimated the size of the little sandwich maker. So I definitely had some egg whites overflowing, but I'm gonna get that cleaned up right now, and then I'm just gonna start working on some editing. It's 9:45 right now. I'm supposed to be out of my house by like 12:45, 12:50, so I have around 3 hours. It shouldn't take me too long. I was able to get through a good chunk of the video yesterday. Originally, I wasn't going to film today, but I figured I had the additional time on my hands. I didn't really get to finish filming last night, so I figured I would just take advantage of this morning. I'll probably end it before I head off to work. That way I'm not staying up super late editing the entire rest of the day. The point of this was just for you guys to kind of see what I'm doing, how I'm starting this, and how I'm going about this whole 75 hard inspired bridal glow up. So I really wanted to make sure to give you guys a good picture of what it is that I'm trying to do. I'll have the whole list in my description box as well. I'm officially back home. It's 5:23 right now, and Galinda's gonna be here around 6 o'clock because my family actually wanted to go to the movies today. So the movie starts around 6:20, and I have just a little bit of time to make myself something to eat. So I'm going to try to eat a very well-balanced meal here. That way I've kind of already set myself up for success. So I'm gonna show you guys exactly how I make my salad. I am missing just a few ingredients, but it's okay. We're gonna work with what we've got. I usually like to just grab random things from the fridge and kind of just toss it all together, and it always ends up working out really well. So I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I use for my salad. So like I said, I don't have everything that I normally use for a salad, but I have a few things, so we can still make it work. I'll probably just end up posting a picture here to let you guys know what my salads actually look like, just because I feel like today's is gonna look a little bit disappointing, but it's still gonna taste really good. So first things first, we go in with these super greens, and I just throw in this like massive handful. And these are the things that I really want to focus on. By me saying this is the most I've ever eaten, I do very high bulk meals, but they are very low calorie and very high protein at the same time. So I fill up my plate with the lower calorie, nutrient dense type of ingredients, and then the bulk of my calories is probably going to be in my protein. So it's still very satiating. I do end up full and satisfied at the end of my meal, and I don't feel deprived because I feel like I was able to have a meal that was double the size that I normally would have had if I had just like rice and steak. So So I also, on top of these super greens, I do add baby arugula. I add a bunch of this, 25-30 grams. It's like not even a calorie. I definitely make sure to add a lot of that. Next up for the veggies, I do always put sweet potatoes in my salads. I cook these with coconut oil, cinnamon powder, and Himalayan pink salt, and it's seriously the best sweet potatoes. Everyone that's tried how I make my sweet potatoes absolutely falls in love with them. So just saying, you should definitely give it a try. I do add sprouts as well. These are alfalfa, broccoli, and kale. Same thing, you can put in as much as you want, like not even gonna be 1 calorie. For some additional protein and fiber, I do like to add hemp seeds. For 1 tablespoon, I wanna say it's like 5 grams of protein. So this is definitely a little bit of a hack to add fiber and protein to your meals. You don't even taste it. Honestly, it actually just adds like a really nice crunch to your salad. So I always make sure to add that. I also add bell peppers. Normally, I really like to add red, yellow, and orange, but I'm all out of that. So today we have a green bell pepper and then I have some onion. So I'm just gonna saute this and then throw it on top. Or sometimes I'll also use a red onion. So whatever I'm kind of in the mood for. Next, I do add feta cheese. I love feta cheese. It's probably my favorite for salads. I also lately have been liking blue cheese as well, which is a little bit new to me because I didn't like it before. But I think it's because I really started to like the market salad from Chick-fil-A and they add blue cheese to it. For now, I have feta. I like it so much that I got the big tub at Costco and I'm going through it. For my dressing, normally I do like to get the one that's only ginger, but they haven't had them in stock lately. So I have been getting this honey ginger dressing. This is seriously my all-time favorite. I always have 1 to 2 of these in my fridge. I put 2 tablespoons, and the only reason I like the ginger one more, not necessarily for flavor, they do taste very similar. This one is a lot sweeter, which is I think why I like it more, but this one does have 5 grams of sugar versus the other one, I want to say for 2 tablespoons, it's probably like 1 gram of sugar. It's not necessarily like the absolute best ingredients, but you know what? It tastes good. So I like it. I use it every day. And then for my protein of choice, I did already pre-make these sirloin steak strips and I got them from Costco. They're already made. I just put them on the pan and fry them up a little bit. They are these sliced beef sirloin strips, 3 ounces. It is only 120 calories and 19 grams of protein. So this is very high in protein. Definitely recommend getting those. They taste so good. I normally eat them in my salad, especially because they're in strips. Like this is how thin they are. So 3 ounces when you plate this actually ends up turning out to look like a lot, and it does feel like a lot, especially because it is steak. Okay, so here is my salad. It looks a little bit sadder than usual, but I promise you it still tastes amazing. And in this one bowl there is 47 grams of protein. So far today I've had 126 grams of protein and I'm right at my calorie goal. I am very much on track for the day and I'm just so happy with the fact that adding protein is starting to get so much easier. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and usually I do like to add those little non-dipper breads. I get them at Costco, but I just ran out this week and I do like to add a lot more things to this, but this is what I currently had in the fridge. I do need to restock, but either way I'm still very much going to enjoy this right now. It's currently 5:50, so I'm gonna hurry up and eat this before I have to head out. Overall, I'm super excited for this challenge. I feel like it's going to be so much fun. It's going to kind of re-motivate me a little bit and just kind of give me a little bit of an extra spark leading into this whole journey. And I don't know, I feel like yesterday and today just felt so easy hitting my nutrient goals. And even though I was just a little bit more tired today just because I did not give myself any rest days from running throughout the week, I'm glad and proud of the fact that I still was able to do some type of movement. So I know that if I keep it up, I'm going to be getting results very, very soon. And I'm just super excited. I do have a gym membership that starts August 1st. So I do have a few more days until that activates. But in the meantime, I'm just going to be doing Pilates and yoga at home. I'm going to be doing my running plan, going for walks, things like that. And overall, I don't know, I feel like, no, I'm not doing 75 hard exactly as is, but I am gathering the inspiration from it. And I do feel like I'm going to get amazing results regardless. So I don't know, I'm just really excited. And if you guys want to go along this journey with me, you don't have to be engaged. It's just like a transformation journey, glow up journey, whatever you want to call it. It's honestly just to be a little bit better than what we currently are. And if you guys want to join me, by all means, I would definitely love that. I feel like it would be more of like an accountability community, and I just think it would be so much fun. So I will be posting more videos like this. I'll be doing like a what I eat in a day, creating healthy habits, early mornings, things like that. And I do have so many more ideas coming for videos. I'm really excited and I feel like I've gotten that motivation again. So I will be posting them very soon. I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.